All right, today's video is going to be a little different. Obviously, I am not in my fish room. I am in my work office. This is where I run my fish business out of. And I want to talk about expectations on my part and on your part. So many of you know that I run a full-time construction business, full-time, and that pays my bills. This business, the fish business, is something I started because people kept asking me for my products that I use in my fish room. I started a YouTube channel not thinking that I'd ever start a business as far as selling fish or selling products. But what happened was people started to buy my stuff. So the next thing I should do is get a website. I had no idea that it would explode like it did. 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, I got 27 orders in one day. Now, not complaining, that's amazing, but you have to realize that I'm one person. I am shooting the videos. I am creating the products. I'm testing the products. I'm keeping a full-time fish room. I'm breeding fish. I am hand making these products for you guys. So this is not aquarium co-op where I go to China and I buy a pallet for, whatever, and have it shipped all ready to go, and then I can pick up that pallet. When you order something, it is handmade by me, and I only want to send out quality, okay? If you want cheap products fast, this is not the place for you. I only want to create stuff that really works, that is proven, and that will make your hobby better, but also help your fish live longer and stay strong. So today I want to tell you how my day has gone. I got 7 orders yesterday, that's about average. 27 is off the charts. And you can see my shelves, they are stripped. This video is about my business, but also your business, because you guys are helping me grow this. I'm in this weird phase right now where I'm holding debt, about $8,000. And that's not a lot to start a business, especially a retail business online. Because you have to figure that when I launch 25, 30 products, I have to buy all those products in bulk. So $8,000 is not a lot of money. But what's happening is the business has shown zero profit. What I am doing is I'm taking everything that you guys give me, every penny, and putting it back into the business because I want to grow this business. But right now I'm in this weird growing pains phase. And I know just from starting other businesses that this is crucial right now because most people give up at this phase. They think, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. I can't handle it. How am I going to fill all these orders? To me, I don't look at it that way. I look at it like, oh, awesome, more orders. Okay, maybe I have to drive somewhere to pick up products at retail and give it to you at my cost. Sometimes that happens. But that's all part of doing business. So I got a couple emails today about people not happy about they had to wait a couple extra days or a few extra days. And the problem is I don't think they're taking the weekends in consideration for those extra days, because if you order on a Thursday, I really can't ship out till Monday if I'm making a product or putting a product together. So let me tell you how my day went today. And this is pretty average every day. I woke up at 3 a.m. I started making bells because I got an order for 5 bells. Those bells go fast. When I say Chinese products, some of these products do come from China, but I improve what I get from China. I do not give something off the shelf from China and send it to you. That's not something that I think is ethical or that I would even want to do, because I know that the whole thing with China right now is on the edge, and we're not going to get into that. That's a whole separate discussion. But this morning, 3 o'clock a.m., made 20 bells. So from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., I made 20 bells so I can get those out because I want to have some in stock, and my stock is almost gone. But to get an email like that is pretty... So I got 2 of them today and one the other day that my shipping's terrible, that I take too long. And even one guy said that, you guys, like, I have a crew here. Guys, it's just me. My daughters help me. They're 16 years old. They're saving up for college. I pay them $15 an hour, but they have lives. They go out with their friends and want to do stuff. So I don't force them to work like you guys got to work. They work when they want to. And if they're not working, then I do it myself. So if you can imagine getting 27 orders of maybe 30 products and putting those together and getting those out within 3 or 4 days, to me, that's pretty impressive. But, yes, should it have been out in a day or two? Should have. But actually what started happening here is it got to 104 degrees here and our power kept going out. So everything I do needs power, especially like the freeze dryers. I have 2 freeze dryers going all the time, guys. 24/7 freeze dryers are going. And when that power shuts out, let's say I'm on a job site working and I don't know and I come home, how long has that freeze dryer been shut down? 2 hours, 3 hours? You know, I can kind of guess by the clocks and stuff, but if it's been shut down for that long, that batch is bad. So I have to start over, especially if it's in the first 5 hours that it happened, because that's the most crucial part. It has to have the pressure, the freezing. Anyways, that's a whole different story. So 3 a.m. this morning, 6 a.m., I got everything done. I got all the bells done, 20 of them. Went up, took a shower, got ready, ate some food, talked to my kids, hung out for a half hour, 45 minutes. Then I went to the church, cleaned the church for 2 hours. That's my job. That's one of my callings, is to clean the church. Now I have to coordinate it. I have to make sure I have everybody there every Saturday to get that done. So right now is our peak season for our construction company. We are working 6 days a week, 5 days a week. I try not to work Saturdays, but today was one of those ones where it was an office building and we had to get there today and get it done. So me and my wife went, and luckily she helped me. Okay, I get home. It's about 1:30, 2 o'clock. I am exhausted. I go lay down for 2 hours. I wake up, I get these emails. I am like freaking out going, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm getting these emails right now. But I try to calm back down. And listen, if you do not want to buy my products and wait a couple extra days, I get it. Please do not buy my products. But if you want to be on board and make this business go to the next level, and my hope is to grow it into a big business, and hopefully when that happens, you know, it'll be something special. Now, I'm not giving up as far as that goes. You guys want to order something, order something. I will make it happen. But understand, it's just me doing everything right now by myself, plus running another company. So I'm going to do the best I can to get it out to you as soon as I can. So right now it's about 4 o'clock, and I kind of shut down for a couple hours just because I wasn't angry, but I just like disappointed. You know, I consider you guys a community. I just feel by the way we talk to each other, and everybody's so gracious and so helpful and, you know, so encouraging. And that's awesome. So when I get these, I get kind of like, oh, you know, I'm doing my best, but you know, that doesn't matter. I didn't fulfill the order in time. I get it. So please keep ordering if you're interested. If you're not interested and you can't wait a couple days for the high quality and the handmade, then I understand that, guys. I understand there's plenty other options out there. Go for it. You know, I'm trying to give you the best I can, and I'm trying to do something special for the hobby. I'm not doing this for profit. Obviously, I'm not making any money right now. Zero cash. It all goes back in 100%. Every dollar that comes into this goes right back into it. So I don't put anything in my pocket. Now, one day I hope to, and that's how business works. But luckily I have this other gig. Now, if I have to choose between that gig and this gig, that's a no-brainer. I'm going to go that way every time because I've had that company since I was 18 years old. So it's something that I'm not going to give up that easy. And it's very, very, very profitable. We have over 5,000 clients. We have about 80-90% return referral on that business. So we don't have to do much marketing. All the equipment's paid for. Everything is paid for. So that business makes a lot of money and pays, you know, my life. Keeps my wife happy. And that was one of the things, I don't know if any of you are married, but when I said I was going to do this, that was the deal. No money could come out of that business or this home to pay for this. So it could only be funded by my credit I can get, which I do have a little bit, luckily, and I got good credit, so that's great. But really, what I'm trying to do is break even with the money coming in. So when I make a little bit of profit, that doesn't go in my pocket, goes back in the business. So now it's 4 o'clock. I was planning on making a different video, but I just want you guys to understand where I'm at as far as the business end of this. I'm not complaining. I'm not giving up. I'm not stopping. I'm going full into this because I can see the potential. But, you know, a company that's only 9 months old officially, I mean, probably a little bit longer, but officially it's got off the ground about 9 months ago. We're doing really, really well. I love my fish room right now, but I just think that it's not conducive to YouTube videos. And that's one thing I like about this room. And I might start making my videos in here and then putting overlays over it because the sound quality, I just noticed, isn't the best sometimes. And even though I talk loud, because I talk like this normal because I project. So in the fish room, I have to talk extra loud because overcoming the noise around me. So I'm compensating constantly and I'm trying to get that editing right, but it's just not working out. Unedited, it's going to come out just like I made it. So if I said something that, didn't sound right, let me know in the comments. If you like the products and you can wait an extra day or two or, an extra weekend for my products, please let me know in the comments. If you think that it's getting out of hand and you are not happy with my service or my quality, please let me know too, because if it's something that I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they're not talking to me and telling me, because everything I'm getting back is feedback. I've had like 3 complaints in my company, and 2 of them were these emails, and one was the koala green. When I first launched it, the guy said that his fish would not eat it. I said, that's fine. And I refunded his money. He did not ask for the refund. I just want to make this video raw, unedited. And this is to my supporters. Now, there'll be no fancy overlays. There'll be no add-ons. There'll be nothing plugged in as far as, text or B-roll or anything like that. It's just me talking to you as my supporters. All right. And I have a list of you guys. I know who you are. I see your stuff come across. I'm excited to see it. I'm like, awesome. They're still supporting. Days are long. Okay. I work 6 to 8 hours in the other business, and I work about 10 to 12 in this business. If it's 6, I usually work 12. If it's 8, I usually work 10. I don't sleep much. I usually go to bed around 11, 12 o'clock. This morning, I got up at 3. I took an hour nap during the day, and now I'm back going. Right now, I'm going to go put orders together so Monday morning they can all go out. So I want to thank you guys for supporting me, and let me know in the comments what you guys think, okay? Because your feedback is all that matters to me. If you don't like it, that's fine. We can stop and I can just go about my life. It's awesome. I don't mind that, right? But the reason why I started is because people wanted my product. They saw my results and they wanted to know how I did it. And that's what made me start this company, okay? Wasn't something I wanted to do, it was something that people wanted me to do, and that's where it started. So yes, it's just me. I place the orders, I buy the inventory, I pack the shipping, I make the product, I film the videos, I write the scripts, I do everything. Everything you see going on, that, building the website, updating the website, writing the text, taking the pictures, which aren't very good. I'm working on the pictures, get those better. So all that stuff I do it myself. Now my daughters do help on some stuff, but they can only do stuff like filling the Amazon Gold, and they can't make the bell, they can't make the med kits, they can't do that. Plus, I don't want them touching the medicines, but they can't do a lot of stuff. So it's up to me. And trust me, I am finding every minute I can to make sure they're fulfilled. All right, guys, thank you very much. I hope you guys send me some comments and let me know. All right, yay or nay. All right, thanks. Bye.